it's Mark. I am the Sanderson collector, and these are some of the 5 most expensive Brandon Sanderson books that have ever been published. I'm going to go through the list and tell you how valuable I think all of these books are. All values are based on sales and trades that I have seen, most of them in the past year or so. For a couple of honorable mentions, first off, we have Star's End. This book has never been officially published, so it does not qualify for the list, and it has never been for sale and never should be until Brandon decides to release it himself, and so we are not attaching a value to this one. Additionally, because I am restricting myself to published books, there will be no advanced reader copies on this list, although several of those, especially the advanced bound manuscripts, can go into the several $1,000s range. As our final honorable mention, we have the leather-bound set of books. The leather-bound books, especially first edition, first printing numbered books, can go for $700 to $1,000 or more, but it really varies depending on the mood at the time and what number the book is, and so I have not included any on this list. Coming in at number 5, we have the US hardcover of The Way of Kings. This edition is just a regular US hardcover. The one that is on the list is a signed, numbered edition from the release party of The Way of Kings. These books generally go up to $850. The Way of Kings is not Brandon's first novel. It does not have the lowest print run, but it is a major, major book in his Cosmere and probably his most popular book among his fans, and so that numbered edition of this hardcover is one of the main things most people, even more casual collectors, look for when they're collecting Sanderson books, and so it is one of the most expensive books you can get. Coming in at number 4 on the list, we have the first edition, first printing UK hardcover for The Way of Kings, and I put the value of this one at $1,250. This one was the first hardcover that was published in the UK of any of Brandon's works, and similar to the US hardcover that I just showed, it's a Stormlight book and therefore very popular with Brandon's fans. There's a very high demand for this one. It had a very low print run, way lower than the US edition, and therefore this book is quite valuable. One thing to be careful with if you're looking for this one is don't get it mixed up with the second edition UK hardcover. These sell for cover price, so $30, $40 or so, because they have been reprinted very recently. They are not worth more than that. If you are looking, make sure you have the ISBN for the first edition and you do not get scammed buying one of these. Coming in at number 3 on the list is the one that surprised me the most. This is the numbered edition of Unfettered, Volume 1, and this one comes in at about $2,200. This figure comes from a sale that I saw within the past week. I did not realize until then that this book was going for this much. It's an absolutely gorgeous book, and the reason this one goes for so much is that it is popular among many collectors, not just Brandon collectors, because it is signed by all the authors, and this includes Pat Rothfuss, so there's a large fandom there, along with several of the other authors who are in this volume. The beware on this one is that only Unfettered number 1 numbered edition is worth this much. Unfettered 2 and Unfettered 3 at the time of recording are still available on the Grim Oak Press website to buy in the numbered edition, and you can get them there for the cover price. Moving on to number 2, the book that probably everyone is expecting to see on this list, Infinity Blade Awakening. This is a book that was released maybe 200, maybe 300 copies, we're not sure, at a couple of conventions many years ago, and these days it commands a sale price of $2,500 or more. This book is very rare. It's a little novella that Brandon wrote for a video game, only was ever published once, has not been reprinted. If you want to read it, you pretty much have to get one of these copies, and like I said, there's a maximum of 300 of these out there. And that is why this book commands such a crazy high price. Coming in at number 1 on this list is a book that I actually do not have. I have never actually seen one of these go up for sale, and so I am just guessing. And it is the hardcover copy of Cardinalities Works inspired by Orson Scott Card. This one is a paperback here in my hand, and I was able to get this one but I have not been able to get a hold of a hardcover. There were 120 copies of the paperback made and only 50 copies of the hardcover. This was an anthology put out many years ago by LTUE Press to benefit Dave Wolverton's son when he had a skiing accident, and they were all sold at that one LTUE convention. If you know where any copies of this are, please let me know. I'm attaching a value of $3,000 to this hardcover because there were only 50 made, and I would absolutely love to be able to trade one of these paperbacks and some cash to obtain a hardcover and complete my US hardcover set. If you do know where to find one of those, my email is in the description. Please contact me. Did any of these books surprise you? For me, the biggest surprise was finding Unfettered 1 numbered edition on this list when I went to compile it. But if something else surprised you, or you were surprised by that one, please let me know down in the comments. I hope you found this video educational. If you enjoyed it, please remember to leave me a like. And if you want to catch future videos about Brandon Sanderson collecting, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I will be back next week with another video about Brandon Sanderson collecting. Hopefully one that I have been very excited to make for a long time, but I don't know if everything will line up yet, so I'm not going to actually announce what that video is, but fingers crossed that that video does happen. And if it does, I will see you back here in that one. And if not, I'll see you back with a different video. Regardless, until then, happy collecting.